Welcome Brave fans and welcome to Brave Self-Isolate. I'm Murray and this is Sledge, and we're here with a fun-filled afternoon of interviews and a little bit of shenanigans here, Sledge.
Yeah, it's been fun so far. We've had the Brave Beyond Blue Cup, the Mario Kart tournament organised between the CBI Brave and the Adelaide Adrenaline. We've had Alex Tetro join us for that one. It's been a fun afternoon so far.
We've got quite a bit to talk about on today's Brave Live. We've got Andrew Deans and Alex Tetro on to have a chat with us. And we've got, as always, our CBR Brave burning questions. So if you do have questions, make sure to comment and we'll get to them at the end of the show. Haven't had much of a league update. Obviously, Melbourne, the situation in Melbourne out there is not fantastic at the moment, which may have put play to some of the potential of a season opening, but we'll find that out in July. But the good news is, for our fans, there's been some talks between the Ice Dogs, the Bears and the North Stars to do a bit of a shorter, more local competition, which would be fantastic, because I don't know about you, but I am missing hockey.
Yeah, it should be fun if we can get that one going. If we could have it at, say, Hunter Ice Skating Stadium, they've already set up for the finals. They've done things there. You could televise that. You can have it for the fans. It'd be a lot of fun. At least get something going, because with the way Victoria's looking at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to get the season that we want to get out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And for all of those out there in Victoria, stay safe and don't get the Rona.
Wash your hands.
And so the boys have been competing in the Anytime Fitness Challenge, of which I believe there's some interesting people on the scorecard for people to have a look at. Maybe not who you think would be at the top. He's actually at the top. So it's been nice to see that some clubs have been getting onto the ice. But everyone's obviously doing things like our fitness challenge here to keep their players engaged and try and get them fit for the potential of a season. Nick Christensen's on the top of the leaderboard at the moment, and when we have a chat to Alex a bit later, we'll hear about get a bit of the insider goss on what they've actually been doing and what the challenges consist of. But Bailey obviously solid there in number 7, and Joe Matuk beating the captain. Matt Harvey's right down there at the bottom.
Yeah, it's good to see. As you said, we haven't got ice here at the moment. We talked about it last episode. The rink's going through renovations. They basically tore the guts out of it, changing everything. It's going to be awesome to get back in there. Other rinks have opened up, which is cool to see other teams getting it going. But so here's what we have. So it's cool to see all these young guns trying hard, working their way up the ladder there. But I love number 5, Andy Kevenside, probably one of our older guys on the team, and still an absolute gun on and off the ice.
And obviously Mike Georgie in there at number 3, one of the original members of the first Brave team.
And it's not even close with the top ones, is it? We got Christensen and Casey Kavara out above 20 points, and then it drops back down, 4 points for Mike Georgie, and then on just 3 points, Matt Harvey. Captain's got to pick up his game.
The beard needs to pick up the game, Matt. And yeah, as you said, the rink, probably September at the earliest, September, October. But look, I think it's probably going to be worth waiting for. I've heard that the upgrades are significant and will benefit everyone, even if it's just the lines. Certainly the referees are going to be happy about that.
And it's excellent that we've got a goalie in here tonight, because he's probably feeling those pucks that bounce off the Zamboni doors and come straight out in front of net. Hopefully there's none of that anymore. We don't want to see any of that.
Or get stuck under the door either. That's always funny.
Even better, the ones that go up over the crossbar, hit the chicken netting and come straight back out in front of net. Those are my favourites. A scramble from everyone.
And I'm sure Alex really hates those ones.
Love them.
We've also got a launch of some new winter merchandise. So even though you can't get down the Brave Cave, there is still a way to get in some stylish clothes and support the team. It looks like they've got some pretty nice stuff, Sledge. I'm pretty keen on one of those new hoodies.
Yeah, I can't wait to pick up some myself. The baseball shirts, is excellent. We've got that partnership with the Canberra Cavalry now, so anything baseball related would be great. All I want to see is Canberra Brave pinstripe baseball jerseys. That's all I want to see out of this. It would be mint. I would love one.
I don't know how I feel about the pinstripe, but you're more of a golfer than I am, so you might be used to wearing those kind of crazy clothes.
I do get a bit daggy from time to time, that is for sure.
As always, go online. We've got an online shop where you can buy these jerseys, and I believe it's if you order over $100, it will be delivered for free. So get online, Brave fam, and get buying some of the winter merch.
Yeah, and I highly suggest one of those beanies, the pom-pom beanies. They are so good for winter. I wear one all through winter, everywhere I go.
Always the top of the style, Sledge. Big thing for tonight as well, we've got a partnership with Live at Your Local, and we've got some really great local talent, both Kirkland and Citizen K, live coming out through our Facebook page, which is fantastic. These guys are amazing live. And I can say that I saw them both at Sweet Dreams Festival last year, and they rock it out. So that will be happening this evening, and Citizen K has actually recorded a little message for us, which will play now.
Facebook page, so you can check it out there. Thank you so much. Hope to catch you there. Much love.
Well, we've kept our guests here waiting long enough, so without further ado, our first guest joining us has been with the Brave from our inception. And he and his wife are two of the most familiar, and I would argue some of the most important people in the Brave community. Welcome to Brave Live, Andrew Deans.
Thank you very much, Murray. Great to be here.
Deansy was one of the very first people I actually met in the hockey community when I was helping with the initial team that helped to set up the Brave in the beginning. Deansy has been in the ice hockey community for a very long time. When did you actually get involved in ice hockey to begin with?
Well, we came to Canberra at the end of '87. About the middle of '88, my daughter went to the rink for the first time with one of her little girlfriends from school. And it wasn't long before our son, Stephen, had decided not to be outdone by his sister. So, middle of '88, we started at the rink, and we thought this is pretty amazing. And it's progressed since then. So, our son eventually started to play ice hockey, much to my better judgment, but I was forced into it. And so there we were, and here we are still.
And you've travelled all around the world with ice hockey with your son Stephen.
Yes. Yeah.
He's played for Australia at different world championships, I believe, as well.
Yes, well, he played 2 years with the Australian youth team with Rumo, Mark Rumo-Kynan, for those that don't know Rumo, and also, a few of the guys that we play against from the other teams, and. We had 2 years in the junior, so we went to China for the first time he played overseas in youth. We went to Mexico when he played in junior, and we didn't go to when he played senior, but he went to, I think it was Belgrade or somewhere, and South Africa. He played there. And I think he's also played in Seoul, so he's had a few trips.
And I know for the people who don't see the inner circle of the team, the boys love Deansy. Deansy feeds them, and Andy and Judy feed the team and look after them, as well as our other managers. But you've had some pretty funny stories over the years of things shenanigans that go on with the team in different places.
Yes.
And we were just having a chat about one of them, which I thought was pretty funny, that involved Mr. Manco from a couple of years back.
Oh yes, we were in Adelaide, to me, and the boys had been out for a bit of a night on the Saturday night, which was always pretty good for playing well on the Sunday. But anyway, that was beside the point. And Thomas Manco, excuse me, had joined us from Blacktown, or it was Blacktown then, and from the what do they call themselves? The
Ice Dogs.
The Ice Dogs. Blacktown Ice Dogs. It was originally when my son was playing. Anyway, he decided to get a taxi back to the caravan park. Well, we were staying in the West Beach Caravan Resort, and he told the taxi driver that he was at the caravan park, which was half a k up the road. So he got out there. He said, "Oh, I haven't got any money." He'd lost his wallet, and he decided that he said, "I'll go and wake up the boys, and I'll come back." So he left his phone with the taxi driver as surety, and he went off, and he couldn't find the cabin we were in, or the caravan. So because he was a bit far gone, he ended up forcing a window open on the games room at the caravan park and went to sleep on the bench. Anyway, the taxi driver gave up after a while, and he didn't come back, so he said, "Oh, well, I got the phone, and that's fine." Anyway, next morning, I got a message. The guys came out. "You've seen Manco?" "No, I haven't seen Manco anywhere." "No." So I went down looking around. I thought he might have been somewhere and been asleep in one of the service vehicles in the resort. And I went to the office. "No, we haven't had any reports of anybody laying around." Looked under the buildings, because some of them are built off the ground, and he wasn't under any of those. So we were really worried about him. And so anyway, I rang his phone, and this guy answered. I said, "Is that Manco?" And he said, "No, this is a taxi driver, and he's way down the other end of Adelaide." And he said, "Oh, well, this guy left his phone with me, but I couldn't ring up, and because it was locked." He was waiting for somebody to ring the phone. So then we went searching. I said, "Well, where did you leave him?" And he said, "Oh, at the caravan park." "Oh, right." So I went up to the caravan park and couldn't find him anywhere there. And eventually the security guy went to open up the games room and found him passed out on a chair in the games room. So we found
caravan park.
So he didn't play too well that afternoon. But he was a funny character.
Max, you're still keeping us entertained. Well done, mate. We've had a lot of good times with Deansy. He's been there when we've won the cup, when we've lost in our finals over multiple years. Sledge, did you have any particular questions you'd like to ask him?
Yeah, so not just as a volunteer and a beloved member of the Brave, but as a fan of the Knights as well. When the Knights hit rock bottom, got shut down, and those videos went out asking for funding to start back up, did you see the potential from there to the Brave winning a cup when they started?
Not at that time. It was a terrible time. I heard about it on the radio that the Knights had folded, and I rang the manager, the owner, and I said, "What's going on?" I said, "You could have at least rung me," because I was the manager of the team manager at that stage, and I thought, well, he could have at least rung me. But anyway, that was that. We got over that all right. And I had no idea that we'd even get off the ground. And it was really Rumo and with Pete Chamberlain and through coordinate Jamie and Was that they were able to put the whole thing together in 5 weeks, and we were on the ice, and they got the licence, and away we went.
Yeah, that was amazing. That first season, that's where I first invested myself in ice hockey, and it gripped everyone so much, and fans just flocked. It was amazing to watch.
It went out on the radio. There was this call to arms, and people just came to it. And we've got this. We had a very good core of supporters in the Knights, hardcore. Even though we'd lost just about every game and every season, they'd still be there reliably. They'd 300 or 400 people. Even though John said, we'd had 1,100, 1,200, he might have at some stage, but not in my time there. But we'd been going to the Knights games since my son started there, and we thought this is pretty good. But to think that it would get to that point in 5 years and I'd be holding that cup.
Yeah, that was amazing. You've been involved in junior ice hockey. Well, kind of across the board kind of thing. My question is, what do you think we could do to get more juniors involved in ice hockey? Like, what can we do to bring the kids into ice hockey?
I don't know how you address that. When my son started, there was so many kids doing it. Although I believe now, the last season, Rumo has been running things, and it's been picking up quite well. There's been a lot of kids involved. I think the profile of the Brave has been great, and winning that cup, I think, gave us the profile to bring it on for the young ones. But there's so many things competing for sport for kids, and it's not a cheap sport. And once you start getting into it, I mean, my wife Judy went out to work. Basically, all her income went into the ice rink in one way or another, between figure skating and ice hockey.
Yeah.
But that's what we want to do, and I think it's. I don't know how you can capture the kids in that way, other than word of mouth and coming to the games and that sort of thing, coming to the Brave games.
Yeah.
That they see that sort of thing and they wish they want to be in it. I've got two grandsons that are in the little league starting out, so they can't wait for it to start again.
Yeah, it's always great to see him out there. My next one was, so the first time I met you, this was when I was living in Goulburn. I caught the team bus with the team to go up and watch an Ice Dogs game, and you made all the meals for all the Brave and everything, and you were nice enough to offer food and everything for us that were catching the bus.
Didn't I get money out of you for that?
My question is, who has been the pickiest eater on the team so far?
Oh, gee, the pickiest eater. I can't really think of a particular one.
Okay.
We've had a few now that you mention it, but I can't really pinpoint anyone particularly. Not off the top of my head anyway. But we've been lucky. Well, Judy and I were doing it, or Judy mostly cooking for the first few years, but then we were lucky to get Daryl Day and Karen come on board, and my wife was getting a bit crook, and they've been able to take it over, and it's been a great thing. So we've still been able to maintain that food on the road and that sort of thing. And the last year, food at the rink when we weren't being sponsored by any of the clubs. So he was doing that, and he and Karen were doing that at the rink, feeding the guys after the game.
Yeah.
And it's very important.
That's a nice shout out for Daryl and Karen there, who've put a lot of time and effort into. Well, thank you very much. That's all I have for you at the moment, Deansy. Murray, what have we got next?
Thanks for the chat, Deansy. Sledge, our next guest is no stranger to a camera and one of the most promising young talents in our Brave system. Please welcome Alex Tritto. So Alex has been a key member and backup goalie over the last year to our former NHL goalie. How are you finding not playing hockey during lockdown?
Yeah, it's tough. It's been different. I think a lot of us guys, we've never gone through kind of a space of this time without playing hockey, but it's good. I think it's a forced break and it gives you time to jump into other things and play some other sports and spend some time with family and close friends, and it's been tough, but definitely we'll be excited once everything starts up again.
With this fitness challenge, I didn't see your name on that list. What have they got you doing to keep fitness up?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of different challenges that we've been going through, such as the 5K run, some box jumps challenges. Some sit-up challenges as well. Can't say I'm up there with those top guys like like Casey and Georgie and Nick Christensen. Try and do my best with those ones, but we've got some machines on the team. Yeah. And
so, are you doing any more goalie-specific fitness training as well?
I've been playing quite a bit of squash just by myself. Just something I like doing, and I can play by myself and keep going for quite a while, and that keeps my reactions intact and lots of lateral movements, and I've been getting out to play inline hockey with Hayden Dawes on the Narrabundah basketball course, so that's been fun, and just kind of trying to have a bit of fun and relax and still stay ready as well. Yeah.
So your position in the Brave has become even more instrumental over the last couple of years, but as we went forward to that, you actually spent our summer in Canada playing for some junior teams. Mm-hmm. How was that, and how did that develop your game?
Yeah, so I was born in Montreal, so I still have family over there, and I went over in the off season before the year we won the cup. and I was bouncing up between the Junior A and the Junior B clubs, and it was tough. I think I mean, you ask anybody that goes to play junior hockey in Canada, and it's really competitive, and everybody's itching for a spot. So it was a big learning curve for me, but I know that it gave me lots of ice time and training with lots of skilled players, and I think that's just another tool that I can add to the box for the rest of my career.
And it's pretty usual to see your parents around the rink. Your dad's a bit of an ice hockey player, tragic as well as you.
Yeah, he's a fanatic. I don't think you can say you train more than that guy. He's a huge fan. He loves to watch a game, and he loves to play. And I think he's going to be doing it for the rest of his life. He started up an Instagram page, so Silky Hands Hockey. Jump on that with lots of tips and tricks. And yeah, he was doing some off-ice drills and training with Wahib Daj as well. So yeah, he just loves it. And Mum's actually gotten into hockey as well over the past couple seasons, so the whole family's getting into it, not just watching, which is awesome. Yeah, it's good fun.
That's great. And Sledge?
Yeah, so my first one, you've played with a bunch of great talent. You've played backup for Climby, Hewitt, like insane goalies for our Australian Ice Hockey League. What is the best advice those guys have given you?
I mean, those guys bring so much to the table, and I think it's such a short time frame to absorb as much information from these guys as possible. But I think the main thing, you put all the technical things aside, these guys just battle, and they've played so much hockey, and they come to every game and every training, and they battle it out, and they want to be the best, and they don't want to get scored on. And I think you see that with Huey. He's not a massive goalie, and he was phenomenal. He would never give up. And same with Climby. They were both different goalies, but I think I got a lot from both of them. And they were so open to helping me out, train lunchtime sessions, and really kind of, taking my hand and guiding me through the paces. So yeah, phenomenal guys, really good goalies, and I'll be forever grateful for them as well.
Yeah. Excellent guys. They seem to just change the team when they're in it. They're so wild. So had this season gone ahead, we would have been moving to 60-minute hockey. How do you think that would have impacted the overall game?
I think it would have completely changed the IHL in Australia, I think. It's a big jump. I think people who don't play hockey, it's a bit tough to understand, but you add that extra time in, and you really have to kind of look at your team and make sure you've got 3-4 lines of good fit players to play. And I think that's something that we have in Canberra that separates us from other clubs, right? We have 3-4 lines of really good players that we can roll through. So come third period, after you've played 40 minutes, and we can put fresh guys on, and we can keep moving forwards compared to some teams that have maybe a smaller number of players. So yeah, I think we would have done really well.
Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun when it comes in, and seeing a lot of the junior talent get a couple more minutes, see what the future of Australian ice hockey is like. My next one is, what is the hardest shot you face? Who has the hardest shot that you've taken so far?
That's a really tough question. I think we've gone through so many players, and I think the forwards, it's not as much the hardest shot in power. I think they just thread the needle. You've got guys like Gertz, who played a few years ago, and Chris LeVay and Trevor Gerling. They were just phenomenal players. But for harder shot, I'd probably have to go for a defenseman like Dominic Jalbert or even Connor Riley from last year. These guys just step into it, and so yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Connor Riley even went to the Anaheim Ducks training
camp
straight after the season.
Yeah,
so
he did.
Phenomenal player, that guy. Who had the worst shot on the team?
I think it just goes without saying, but Bailey Cabarra, he's not much of a shooter. He's kind of a stay-at-home guy that, he could make his feet a bit quicker, but he's more of a kind of pass, make that first pass and then just stay back. I think a lot of people think he's a big shot, but got to bring him back down to earth a little bit.
I think I can hear your phone vibrating there, Bailey. We did see your goal rate. It's okay.
Yeah. Apart from that one shot, right, in finals, that was probably the best shot I've ever seen Bailey take.
It was phenomenal.
Apart from that, he loves missing the net.
All right, getting called out here. Another one as well. So, if people don't know, you're basically the DJ of the change room. What is the hype up song before the boys go out?
Oh man, I try and chuck in some different stuff here and there, but you got to get that nice bassy, intense music going. I'm not a big rock guy. Don't mind a bit of Motley Crue, but I definitely wouldn't put my own personal things in the change room. I think it's a little bit too much. But I mean, you can't go wrong with Ace. It's a bit of AC/DC, it's just a classic and gets the old fellas pumped up as well. So,
okay, so no Sandstorm then?
Only when Kai's DJing, which is totally alright.
Excellent. Well, thanks for that, Alex.
All good.
Thanks, Tets. But before we let you go, we need your help with something. So each year, one of the highlights of our season is the Beyond Blue Cup series against Adelaide. Given the lack of hockey action this year, we thought that would be the end of it. But we've worked out a way we can still do it with the aid of Nintendo. So we've come up with a 2020 version with a little bit of a twist, and it's been proudly brought to you by Canberra Toyota.
Welcome to the Beyond Blue Cup, a partnership between the CBR Brave and the Adelaide Adrenaline. We'll be running 4 races between CBR Brave players and Adelaide Adrenaline players. Our first one up for the Cup is my friend Alexander Petro. He'll be setting a time trial on Mount Warrior 100cc. Everything will be set by position, so you get 12 points for first place, 11 points for second place, third place 10 points, so on. The time trial will be set to break out tiebreakers, and for each $20 donated by you, the fans, will get an extra bonus point towards our team. Alex, how are you feeling about this one?
A little bit nervous, not used to being under pressure, but I think it should be alright. I think we should be doing a good job.
All right, it should be a fun one. It's just to keep everyone entertained, to have a bit of fun with the players and the fans. Remember, your donations will get us bonus points. We do want to come out on top of this one, so hopefully we'll see the CBR Brave come out on top for the 2020 Beyond Blue Cup.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. First race of the Beyond Blue Cup for you, Mr. Tets versus
Alrighty.
race. Who are you picking for this one?
I think I'm going to have to go with Tanuki Mario. I think that's Wombat's favourite one, and I believe he's the best Mario Kart player in the Brave.
Well, the captain's advice
And
is
I'm
usually
not-
the best advice.
That's it. I am not picking this. Let me check. Not the Merc.
Standard.
Yeah, just the standard. Nothing flashy.
And the Mercedes wheels.
Yeah.
Rolling on the
Yeah,
big ones.
That's it.
So
100cc. Which course are we going today, Sledge?
now Mount Wario has been selected for this. So in we
Icy
go.
terrain.
The snow slopes.
That's tough.
Excellent.
Tough one.
It's all right. Time to put the nerves aside. You've got this. Always those fun loading screens. Just to build up the intensity for you.
That's it.
Here we go. Tanuki Mario. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, he's off. Cuts to the middle. 5th. Takes over Boo. 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Already in 2nd place, straight from the get-go.
You don't want to be first at the start, right? You've got to give him a little bit of a...
You got
Boom. Okay, I lied.
There you go.
We're in first.
nice red shell take out 1st place. Swing the corner. Red shell. Is he going to lose it? 2nd. Dry Bones taking out the top in the quad. Oh, it's going to be tense from here. No, you got these drifts. Easy
Get these
done.
coins up here.
All right, pull it tight, pull it tight.
Oh, missed all of them. Nice.
Excellent. Nailed it, really. All right. Next items. Drop your coin. Got yourself up to 8. Bananas behind. Hit that jump and into the rapids. All right. Come around. Do the jump. Hit those tricks. Tight drift. Swing it.
What time are we in now, Sledge?
Just over the minute mark. You got this. All right, into the dam. Ooh, there's one. Missed the second one. Got the third one. Easy done.
Alrighty.
Don't hit yourself with that bomb. Nice speed boost out of that one. Hit by the lightning. Everyone's hot on your heels now.
What am I supposed to do now?
No drift. There we go. You hit that boost. That one. Trick off the log. Bananas up in the trees, and there's Dry Bones again. He's taking it to you at the last second. Blue shell. Put him out of the comp. Red shell for you. Keeping it
going
tight.
on here?
Second, third. Oh, it's getting tense now. You're onto the home leg. Take over those two. Into the slalom. Over the jumps. You've got first back. Hit the drifts.
Oh,
Bring it in tight. You got this. Just over 2 minutes now. Ooh, it's tight with Dry Bones. All right, into the moguls. You got this. Surf the car. Coins. All right, max coins now. You're good. And then you big air.
What's the time?
2:25.
Yep. Sweet. Got it.
Easy done. To the hoops. One. Ooh, that's going to make it interesting. Throw a banana to the crowd.
Yeah. See, they're happy.
The fans
I
love
love
it, skinny. Swing it around. In tight. Home straight. All right, pull a donut at the finish line.
That's how it's
Excellent.
done.
All right, that leaves you just over 2 minutes 48. Excellent.
Very good.
All right,
Not too bad.
good time set.
Yeah.
First place. Got tight a bit there for a while,
Yeah,
but we made
hands
it
are a
through.
bit cramped up, but I think that should get us a few points.
All right, hopefully that'll bring us out on top for the start of the Beyond Blue Cup.
Sweet.
Well, that was a great start to the Beyond Blue Cup competition. It'll be interesting to see how Adelaide responds. Way to bring it, Tets. Now, we've got Brave Burning questions. We've got some great questions coming in for Alex and Deansy. I think my favourite one so far is Tyler Kabara has asked, Deansy, what is your skincare routine? Because you're looking like an absolute stallion.
Skincare, just plenty of sunlight.
And Chris Kabara has asked, Deansy, what was the best or most memorable home game on and off the ice?
Chris, the most memorable home game. Gosh, there's been so many of them. I suppose the most memorable, the one that struck me the most was the very first game that the Brave had. That all the fans came, the team was there, we played, and I can't remember whether we won or not, it didn't matter, but it was so good.
And for Alex, Bailey Kabara has asked, so he says, Casey Kabara and I would like to know how much Alex bench press has increased in the off season.
Well, that's a good question, Murray. If I had some friends to help me to help spot me on my bench press adventures, maybe I'd be a little better off. But I have two scumbag friends that don't help me work out. So, sorry, Bailey. Maybe you should do some more crunches. Maybe go for a run sometime. Yeah.
Chris Kabara has asked to say hi to Deansy for you. So hi, Deansy. And they're the questions we've got so far. Is there any last minute questions you'd like to ask, Sledge?
I think that's just about all from me. I will say though, so what you're saying, Alex, you still can't lift Bailey's ego yet.
Yeah, he's got to work on that. He's got to work on that.
All right, and that's all the questions I've got.
So a couple of last things. Remember, we've got you can jump onto the Beyond Blue page and make a donation. And if you mention the Brave in your details, so that we can claim the bonus points to get up on the adrenaline, we'd like to have that Beyond Blue Cup returned to us here in Canberra. And we've also, don't forget that we've got the live in your lounge this evening at 7:30 p.m. So if you log on and watch the Brave Facebook, you can see Kirkland and Citizen K performing live on your phone or TV or computer, whatever you happen to be watching through.
And just another one, Deansy, you wanted to give a shout out to your wife?
Oh yes, just the amount of effort she puts into the jerseys. Without that, the guys would be wearing rags, I think, for half the season anyway. The jerseys and socks. And I'm always chasing the socks. I'm having to put it up on Facebook.
And without those brownies as well, the team doesn't go forward. So big ups to Judy for the brownies.
I know you're a big fan
and the lemon
of the
ones too.
brownies.
Yeah,
and so is the Kabara boys too.
And I think the whole of the Brave community would be sending their good wishes to Judy, who hasn't been that well recently, but everyone's behind her, and we hope that she's feeling better soon. I think some hockey might help her feel better.
I think so.
Deansy.
Definitely
So fingers crossed we can get that up. But I think that's bringing us to the end of this week's CBR Brave Self-Isolate. Thank you for watching and participating, and thank you to Alex and Deansy for coming along.
thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Been a pleasure.